Hey everybody, it's Mr. Carr again. Today we're going to be looking at 6-7 day 1, solving radical equations. Okay, so we're going to solve the square root of x minus 2 minus 1 is equal to 5 here. The goal here is we want to first isolate the radical, square each side to eliminate the radical, and then solve for the variable, but also we have to check for what's called extraneous solutions. So extraneous solutions are solutions that we solved for but do not actually work in the original equation. So in this case, we isolate the radical. So we're going to add 1 to both sides. Square root of x minus 2 is equal to 5 plus 1 is 6. To eliminate the radical, we're going to square both sides. So just like how the square root can get rid of something squared, we could square both sides to get rid of the radical. So x minus 2 is equal to 36. Finally, I add 2 to both sides, so I get x equals to 38. Here's the check for extraneous solutions. I'm going to plug 38 back into the original problem. So if I take the square root of 38 minus 2 and then minus 1, does that equal 5? So that's going to become the square root of 36 minus 1 equal 5. Square root of 36 is 6 minus 1 equals 5, and that does check out. So this one is good. It's not extraneous. Okay. Here's what you can do on your own. So let's talk about this example. Okay. So here, it's a very similar process. We are going to try to get this isolated first. Remember, this is technically a radical. This is the cube root of something. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 5 to both sides. So 3y plus 1 to the 1/3 power is equal to a negative 5. From here, I want to take the both sides and raise to the 3rd power. The reason I want to do that is raising a power to a power is going to turn that into a multiplication problem, 1/3 times 3. Well, if I do 1/3 times 3, that's 1. So this will just be 3y plus 1 on the left side. But on the right side, it's going to be negative 5 to the 3rd power. So that's negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5 is a negative 125. From there, subtract 1 on both sides. So I get 3y is equal to a negative 126. Then I divide both sides by 3. So y is equal to a negative 42. Again, there's not going to be really, you probably won't have extraneous solutions with a cube root, but just in case, let's go to check that real fast. So 3 times a negative 42 plus 1 raised to the 1/3 power plus 5. That should equal to 0. So 3 times a negative 42 is a negative 126 plus 1 to the 1/3 power. 0 there. This is the negative 125 to the 1/3 power plus 5 equals 0. If I evaluate this, that does come out to a negative 5 plus 5 equals 0. So it checks out. Okay. This is another one you can try on your own. Okay. So we're going to look at this solution. Okay. So again, we are going to focus on this value. That's what we're going to use to get rid of the radical. So we're going to do the same process as before. So I'll start with adding 4 to both sides. So we have 7 times the 6th root of 5m plus 4 equals 14. Okay. From there, before I can isolate the radical, I got to divide by 7 to both sides here. Okay. So I divide by 7, I get the 6th root of 5m plus 4 is equal to 2. Okay. From there, we can take both sides to the 6th power. That's what I need to do to get rid of my index 6 here, the 6th root. So by doing that, I have 5m plus 4. So equal to 2 to the 6, which is going to give me 64. So let me just pause for a second real quick. Okay, so now I can subtract 4 to both sides so that I get 5m is equal to 60, and then divide by 5, and comes out as 12. Once again, make sure it's not extraneous. So I'm going to check it in the original problem. 7 times the 6th root of 5 times 12 plus 4 minus 4, does this equal to 10? Okay, so 7 times, this will be the 6th root, 5 times 12 is 60, plus 4 is 64. Okay. And then I'm going to take the sixth root of that. So 6 root of 64 does come out to a 2. So this becomes 7 times 2 minus 4 equals 10. And then 14 minus 4 equals 10, and that is true. So that means this answer here is good. It's not extraneous. All right. So here's another one you can try on your own. Okay. But that is actually it for today. So again, remember what we did with this. The whole goal, we go back to our process here, isolate the radical, then you're going to square each side or whatever, we're going to basically undo the index number. Okay, so undo the index number. So through squaring or cubing or 6th power, whatever it is. Then finish off solving for the variable, but also check for extraneous solutions. Okay, so extraneous solutions, lots of times we get, maybe we have the square root of a negative number, or we get something that just doesn't quite work out right. And we'll hopefully, we should see something like that on either the rest of the notes or the homework on that one. All right, that's it for today. Take care, everybody.